Demas.
Hi, guys.
Thank you all for being here this evening. Tonight, Sue and I are celebrating you. As I said in an earlier post today, originally this was supposed, and happy birthday, Bobbie.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
And happy early birthday, Carole. Now, tonight, we were supposed to be, or maybe not, at the Laurie Beachman Theater. And this is a benefit for the American Songbook Association. Becca C. Kidwell says happy birthday to both of you. So we were supposed to be at the Laurie Beachman. And of course, COVID-19 set in. So the good news is that we are all still together tonight. And we also have the opportunity of being seen by a much bigger audience than we would have ever had we been on stage tonight at the Laurie Beachman Theater. So for all of you who are watching, we are streaming live on YouTube. We are also streaming live through Richard Skipper Celebrates on Facebook. And all of you who are watching tonight, Russ Woolley is here, Becca C. Kidwell. If you are here on Richard Skipper Celebrates on Facebook, please leave a comment. That way we know that you're here, we can acknowledge you, and we can celebrate not only Carole and Bobbie, but each other tonight as we are together. And of course, we are celebrating the American Songbook Association. And Sue and I made the decision not to charge admission for everyone to attend tonight. So if any of you are so inclined, please make I'm going to put the banner here so that should be strolling across the bottom of the screen. And while we're doing that, there you are. Sue Mitsuki, you have a few words. You look gorgeous, by the way.
Oh, yes, I borrowed this necklace from a certain friend of mine way back in the day. I had a doll up for you ladies. You both know I have known Bobbie forever. And Carole, I haven't known you for as long in terms of years, but I feel like I've known you my whole life. Oh. Most of us do, from you having been on TV and been there for us as we grew up. But I love you both very much. You are just the top-notch people, as well as performers and songwriter and singers, and as human beings and as women that I really, really admire and that I strive to be like. You set the bar very high for a lot of us in terms of how we want to behave both on and off stage. I can't believe you're both going to be 80 years old, Bobbie tonight and Carole very soon. It's beyond my comprehension that that's your ages, because as Bobbie always says, it's only a number.
Bobbie and Carole, we have a lot of people waiting in the wings, and we want to get started. But absolutely. Is there anything that either one of you want to say before Sue introduces our first guest?
First of all, thank you both.
Thank you.
Bobbie, it's your birthday. You go first. Oops.
Bobbie?
I'm just so astoundingly grateful. I mean, this is blowing me away. Thank you.
Well, we'll talk to you at the end. Just sit back and enjoy.
Sit back and enjoy. But before, I was talking to Bobbie earlier today. 20 years ago tonight, I was at Bobbie's birthday celebrating as Carole Channing and singing I'm Just a Little Girl from Bensonhurst in honor of Bobbie. And we're still together. Isn't that wonderful? So, Sue, would you like to introduce our first guest?
I would very much like to introduce our first guest. This gal kind of needs no introduction because she's been on the scene for a long, long time. She is my jazz goddess, my sister in all things, and I adore her, and I know you both know and adore her work as well as her. Please welcome to our little group, Miss Laurie Krause.
So we're getting a little echo with you, Laurie.
It must have still echo. Way in the blue. It must have been moonlight. That was me straight to you. I still hear you saying, and I start in praying. Oh, please let this last. We seem to float right through the air. And the seem to come from everywhere. And when they blow way up in the blue, I always remember that moon gave you.
Ladies. Carole, first of all, I want to say, oh, thank you. Oh, Bobbie, I love you so much. Carole, I came to your home.
Thank you.
Oh, Carole, I was at your home last year for one of your concerts, and I wanted it. It was so glorious. I was so excited. I wanted to sneak into a corner of your home and be a squatter and not leave, but someone whose name rhymes with Matsuki encouraged me and I had to leave. And Bobbie, my friend, I have known you for so many years. We have sat across from each other, next to each other. You have been in my audience every time. I have been in your audience. I love you. You are such a supporter of everything that we do. And I'm so, thank you guys for asking me to do this tonight, because you guys are just moon glow for all of us.
Oh.
Thank you.
Laurie, I want to thank you for being here tonight. How are you dealing with your creativity in the midst of all of this craziness that we're now facing in the world?
You know, it's an interesting thing. And I have to say, I live on West 57th Street across from a hotel. And I just have to say that I look out at nothing for the past 3 months because the hotel's been empty. And today, I don't know who these people are that they're having in the hotel today, but today when I did the clanging and the cheering, there were people opposite me waving at me.
Oh,
And I realized how much
but you
I
can't
miss-
invite them over for dinner.
Really? Well, if I was waving, I might invite over for dinner. Thank you. I miss an audience. And, you know, I love an audience.
Well, you got a big audience tonight. I'm going to tell you some of the people that are here right now. Wendy Stewart is here. Jen B is here. Sean Patrick Murtaugh, Wendy Stewart, Bill Sensenbrenner, Evan Lawrence, Wendy Stewart, Daniel Gettleman, Michael Colby, Renee Katz, Corinna Sowers-Adler, Judy Mike, and imagine how many shows you would have to do at the Laurie Beachman to get all these people there.
I know.
You know how it is to get anybody there, anybody anywhere.
I know.
It's part of what we have to do what we do.
So we've got a lot of people waiting in the wings. Anything you want to say, Sue, before we say?
No, just thank you for being here, Laurie. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys
so
for
much,
asking.
Laurie. Now, Laurie, when you leave, click on the little red button in the bottom that
Yes,
says
sir.
Leave Studio.
Yes,
And
sir.
then go and start your own watch party and see who
Right.
else is in the wings.
All right. I love you all, every single one of you. Thank you so much for letting me do this. Happy birthday, ladies.
I love you. I love you.
Bye.
Happy life.
So much. What did you think of our first guest, Carole and Bobbie?
Hey, you got Laurie Krause. Hello.
Amazing. Just amazing.
Well, I've got a surprise guest that I'm going to bring up because the person that I was expecting to bring on next hasn't arrived yet. But I'm sure that the person who is here to say happy birthday to both of you, it's somebody that we love very, very dearly. And he had a birthday this week as well.
Oh, yeah.
So just welcome. You want to say who it is, Sue?
I think I know who it
Who do you
is.
think it is?
It's Mr. Russ Woolley.
And there he is.
Hi, honey.
Hello.
Oh, Ross.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some. Oh, but just for everyone. And you two wonderful friends and women, you know, I have to tell you that you both exude such love. You add such value to my life and the life of so many. The words that come to my head about you each and together: inclusivity, excellence, friendship, kindness, creativity, youthful exuberance, forward thinkers, optimists, gardeners, color, vibrance, and love. And you know, it's very interesting that the two of you should be put together this evening by Sue and Richard, and it's very fitting because, Bobbie, you are so into colors and you are so into fragrance and the healing powers of fragrance. And Carole, you are such an exquisite gardener and such a steward of God's creation, that the two of, with the beautiful colors that come out of your gardens and the fragrances, that I think this is a really interesting combination of the two of you, because you both do the same thing a little bit differently, but you both put that love that we so need in the world. And I'm so honored. And I guess Richard and Sue both knew how much I love both of you to ask me to be here. So thank you. And
I'm
God
so
bless
thrilled
you.
that
Happy birthday.
you are here tonight. Russ, as you know, we've been saying all along, you know, in addition to celebrating both Bobbie and Carole tonight, we of course are celebrating the American Songbook Association. And you are fairly new in the world of cabaret, but you have been such an integral part, especially in my career, over the past few years. And I thank you for all of that, and happy belated birthday to you. But do you have a favorite memory or a favorite anecdote that you'd like to share about Bobbie or Carole with everyone?
Yeah, sure, about both of them. So there are songs that come to my mind, and moments that come to my mind. First of all, Bobbie, the first time I met her, I wasn't quite sure what that was on her shoulder and if I needed to get Raid to take care of it or something. And then I realized it's flowers, beautiful, beautiful flowers. And we've been to dinner so many times together and enjoyed so many moments. And when we both happen to be in the same room and see each other, we try like hell to sit next to each other. And she just adds so much joy and value. And Carole, the first time I met you, this is about the song, and I don't even know if you would remember this or not, but the song that I always think about and hold close to me because you just sing it so beautifully is The Nearness of You. And the nearness that I feel tonight, close to you, and that beautiful, beautiful message that you left for me on my birthday with a song and wishes from you and Stuart just meant the world. So both of you, I don't know what to say. And Richard, you also obviously introduced me to the woman to your left, Sue, and the two of you have just added, again, so much value. And some of the best friends that I have right now were through Richard.
Oh, thank you.
And certainly Sue. And thank you both. And I'm so honored to be here. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for the contributions that you make daily. Thank you.
I love you all.
Good
Thanks
night.
for being here, Russ.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much. Now,
You're the ones who are honored.
but Sue,
Yes.
the person that was supposed to be next in line.
You do it. Go.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I'm not sure because this is the one with the special surprise. I'd rather have you do it, right?
Well, it was the person that was going to follow Laurie, so you know who it is.
Okay, good.
Okay, you know who it is.
Right. I do know who this is. This is a gentleman that we all know and love from the Laurie Beechman Theater. He is a tremendous performer in his own right and greets us at the door with love and concern every time we go into the Beechman. Please welcome Mr. Michael. I want to say Michael Kirk Lane, right?
That's right.
That's right, Sue.
You
That's
guys
right.
with 3 damn names. Get 2 names. I'm tired of this.
Well, I'm sorry.
Eric Stephen Jacobs and
Michael Lane was taken when I joined Equity, so I had to have all 3.
Michael Kirk Lane. There you go. How's that for
hi,
an intro?
everybody. Carole and Bobbie. How I wish we were all together and I could just hug you both tonight. I miss you all so dearly, and I miss the 2 of you. Bobbie, it is such a joy to greet you and your smiling face every time you come down those stairs to come into the Beechman and to escort you to your table. And every one of us at the Beechman, Bobbie, we hear you out in the hallway and the waiter's like, oh, Bobbie's here. Bobbie's here.
That's like Dolly Levi coming down those stairs.
It really is. And you are always there and so supportive of everyone. And Carole, your friendship over the last couple of years, as we've gotten to know each other, has meant the absolute world to me. And you're one of my favorite hugs. You always say that to me, but you're one of my favorite hugs to get. And you both have been just such big supporters of my work and my art. And you're both such beautiful, beautiful human beings and bring such joy to this world. So it is just a joy to be here, to be able to wish you happy birthday and to celebrate you.
Now, we have a very special surprise that Michael Kirk Lane has put together. Some of you may have already seen this. Some of you may be seeing this for the first time tonight. Before we get to that, I just want to acknowledge a few people that are here. John Fitzgerald says, hey, happy birthday, lovelies. Patty Bottino Brava finally found the link. Happy to be here. Scott Barbarino, glad I didn't miss Georgie Jessel. Then Michael Colby says, you 2 are timeless. Happiest of birthdays. Corinna Sowers Adler acknowledging Russ. Well said, Russ. Eve Eaton says happy birthday to you both. Randy Cohen Lester is here. Happy birthday to everyone.
Angela.
I missed everyone. Anna-Reen Barr from Boca in Florida. I miss everyone. Let's see.
I saw Carolyn Montgomery was on.
Carolyn Montgomery is here.
Victoria Chen.
American Songbook Association. Victoria Chen. Steve Dworkin. Happy
Linda
birthday.
Rodolitz.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just reading along with you. There's so many wonderful people are here all to wish. Natasha's on.
You 2 are making a great team.
Well, thank you. Now, the thing is that tonight we are all literally flying by the seat of our pants. This is a Sumitsuki Richard Skipper production, like none other that we've ever done before. So far, I'm knocking on wood. Things are moving smoothly. May the internet gods be with us as I share this very special message from Michael Kirk Lane.
Lane Kirk, if you will. No.
Or let's just hope that it is here in the wings. This is from Michael Kirk Lane.
This looks familiar, vaguely familiar, almost unreal yet. It's too soon to feel yet, close to my soul, yet so far away. I'm going to go back there someday. Sunrise as night falls, sometimes the sky calls. Is that a song there? And do I belong there? I've never been there, but I know the way. I'm going to go back there someday. Come and go with me, it's more fun to share. We'll both be completely at home in midair. We're flying, not walking on featherless wings. We can hold on to love like invisible strings. There's not a word yet for old friends who've just met. Part heaven, part space, or have I found my place? You can just visit, but I plan to stay. I'm going to go back there someday. I'm going to go back there someday.
Okay. Now that you've wiped us out for the rest of this whole night.
Were you
That's how
all
I
able
think-
to hear it okay?
It was a little soft, but I think it kicked up. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Because on my end, it says your mic is muted. I couldn't hear anything. But Michael, I want to thank you so much for all that you do in the cabaret community. And why don't you tell everybody that's tuning in right now about your upcoming series that you're going to be doing with the 92nd Street Y?
I'm excited. Yeah. I've been a teaching artist with 92nd Street Y for a little bit, and we're starting a new series called Cabaret Conversations. And we're starting on June 1st. And my first guest will be KT Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a nice conversation online. For more information for it, you can go to michaelkirklane.com in the news and upcoming section. All the information is there. And Carole and Bobbie, it is just a joy to see the two of you. And like the song says, I wish we could go back there and hug each other and be together to celebrate you.
Very soon, hopefully.
Thank you so much. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. That was stunning. I have it on my page if anybody wants to go look at it again. It's just beautiful.
All those faces.
I may
Isn't that amazing? Yes, Bobbie?
just quickly that it is also KT Sullivan's mother's 90th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Birthday, gorgeous Elizabeth.
Sullivan.
Yep.
So God bless her. I wish she was here. Now, as we were planning the show tonight, one of our guests, I will let you know, Bobbie, Terry Levy. I don't know if Terry Levy is going to make it here tonight or not. Her brother is going through a really difficult time right now. So we want to keep both Terry and her family in our thoughts and prayers. If she is able to join us at some point, we hope that she will be able to be here with us. So Terry really wanted to be here tonight. And we did a run through this afternoon, and she was here and was very excited about being part of the show. So let's hope that she will be able to join us at some point. But someone else that is very dear to all of our hearts here in the cabaret community, and I've known her, I guess, about as long as I've known you, Bobbie, and I will let Sumitsuki introduce her.
Well, it's interesting. You know, Russ had mentioned how many people Richard introduced him to. And I did a show one year for Richard's, I think it was your 45th birthday, correct?
40th.
40th. So
Yes.
6 degrees from Richard Skipper. And in that show, I had all the people that I had met. And this next guest was someone that Richard had introduced me to, and she's remained a lifetime friend. I won't say how many years ago that was, but at any rate, please welcome the beautiful, the vibrant Cynthia Crane.
Yeah. Cynthia, you look great.
Hi,
I don't know what kind of lighting you've got on you, but I want it.
I know.
everybody. How are you all?
We're doing great.
We're very good. I apologize.
Wow.
I don't know if you could see it, that while you were, the thing that passed in front here, well, while you were being introduced, was my cat's tail.
I thought it was a shish kebab.
Welcome to live entertainment.
Yeah, I think you guys are doing a great job. I think this is so creative. I think it's just so exciting. And happy birthday, both of you ladies. I wish I'd gotten to know Carole better personally before
Well,
it was.
maybe we still have time.
But I mean, after all, The Baker's Wife, when you did that, we were running the Impossible Ragtime Theater. So that was one of those shows I always wished I'd seen. And Greece, imagine being in Greece. How exciting.
I do imagine. It sounds
Oh. And Bobbie, I was trying to think, how long have I known you? Is it 20 years, 30 years?
Oh,
40?
God.
Was it the IRT? I don't know.
It's 2020, and we probably met in the 80s.
That's what I thought.
Some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Well, how lovely to see you all. This is a great way to go. I think this is terrific. And
Cynthia, you while we're waiting for our next guest to arrive, who isn't here yet, we've got time. So let's just visit.
You better be on time with somebody else.
You, if I'm not mistaken, were on the cover of one of the Cabaret Scenes magazines. Am I correct?
Yes. It was so fun, though, I must tell you. The cover story said, all these things in Paris, too. And 1 month later, Madoff struck and everything went away. So it's kind of an ironic, it's before BM and after M, you know what I mean? Before,
Yeah, darling, but as the song says, you're still here.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, we're hanging in. But I must say, my Ted story, I don't know if Carole knows Ted's story, the writer, director.
But if you want to share it, I'd love to know.
Anyway, he's next door in the hospital.
Yeah.
A blood infection, but please God, it'll go well. And everything they say is true. I hang out the window here on the 38th floor of the Gary, and I wave a white thing, and I ring a bell. So at 7 o'clock, that's what because I'm by a firehouse and a hospital right next door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite memory, Cynthia, with Bobbie Horowitz that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I remember her wonderful songs. I mean, as a singer, I'm always looking for funny material, and this lady is a trove with Horowitz and Spector.
Horowitz and Spector.
Yeah. Oh, I remember it. Yeah.
On with her today.
My time is up because I just have one more thing I wanted to say.
Yes.
Is your next guest arriving?
No, go ahead. We've our next
got time for you,
arrived. Our next guest is arrived, but go ahead and say what you'd like to say.
We've got time for you.
I just wanted to say we'll meet again. Don't know where. Don't know when. But I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Well, happy birthday, gals.
I love you so much, Cynthia.
I love you too.
Thank you for being part of this tonight.
Young lady and prettier every day. Damn it.
We love you. Good night.
Good night.
Richard, we have a message from Bobbie's son, David Sloan. It says, I'm hosting a Facebook watch party, and there's a bunch of folks watching, including John Meyer.
Oh, good.
Mindy, Fratkin, Valerie. I can't read this quickly enough. Tree, John Weber, Ralph, and Gina. So you've got several lovely people.
Beyond our own reach right here. That's wonderful.
Thank you, David.
So our guest that was going to go before Cynthia has arrived, and I'm going to bring her on in a few moments.
I'm so glad.
Before we bring her on, Sue, would you like to read some of the comments that we've got here?
Well, Carolyn sends her love to Cynthia about Ted. Karina loves singing Bobbie's songs. Shows to Goya. Sherry Eaker. Oh no, Cynthia, I'm sorry to hear about Ted. So she's sending regards to Ted. Scott Barbarino. Always great to hear you, Cynthia.
That's great. Let's see. We got everybody here. As I mentioned earlier, Terry Levy, and Terry Levy has just arrived. So we're going to bring her on. Hi, Terry.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, good. I'm so happy to be here. A happy and healthy birthday, Carole and Bobbie. Wonderful and an honor. You know, it was so important. Can you see me okay?
Yes, we can see you.
It was so important for me to be here because it's so important to make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart the heart you sing to. One smile that cheers you. One face that lights when it nears you. One that you're everything to. Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you've found them, build your world around them. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. And you will be happy too. And Carole and Bobbie, you've made so many people happy throughout the years.
Oh, thank you.
So this is for you.
Thank you.
Happy and healthy birthday, my lovelies. Mwah!
Thank you so
Thanks for joining
much.
us.
Thank you.
Love
We
you
love
so
you,
much.
Terry.
And all our love to your family. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you. Good night.
Love you too. Good
And I
night.
love you, brother. Thank you.
Hi.
Bye-bye.
May I ask Richard and Sue a question? No,
Yeah.
this is the first time that I've done this kind of thing.
Right?
I mean, at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it's been. And I feel this is just a technical thing, but we have a ways to go, and it would make me so much more comfortable if I could ask you. I don't know where I want to be looking.
You're doing just fine.
I don't know where in space.
Look at the light.
Just look straight ahead.
You
and you're
don't
doing
walk toward
fine.
the light, but you can look at, there's a little light at the camera, right?
Am I looking now straight ahead?
Yes.
Which
If
means,
you're looking at your camera, you're looking straight at us.
which means
Yes.
I'm not looking at any of you. So that's something we have to learn with this kind of technology, because I don't want people to feel like you're turning away from them.
Oh, no.
No, you're not. That hasn't
We
happened.
got you, front and center.
Terry, I used your presence to help me with this. Thank you.
Oh,
Great. You're doing
I'm
great.
happy I can
Thank
help.
you, Terry, and you have a wonderful night. Love
Thank you. You as well. Happy and healthy birthday. I adore you both.
Thank
you.
you.
Love you. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
And I wanted to say something to Bobbie when you give me a minute.
Yeah.
If I may. May I?
Yes.
Yes, of course I can.
Bobbie, I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Where was your picture taken? Do you know? Where were you living when the picture that Sue and Richard put together with their where were you living then? When you were a baby in that picture?
When I was a baby?
It was Brooklyn. Was it Benson?
When I was a baby?
When you were a baby in that picture.
When my son was a baby.
No, honey, when you were a baby, in the picture that we used.
I was in Bensonhurst.
Well, so was I.
Son of a gun.
It probably was the same photographer.
85th Street and 21st Avenue.
And it seems like it was yesterday.
I don't know where the photographer came from, but my parents had a picture taken of me, and your parents had a picture taken of you. And if you look at the pictures, we are sitting there in similar dresses. We are posed exactly the same way, slightly to one side. Our little hands are clutched in our laps. And my husband noticed it, and he said, "Look at this. It's the same."
It could have been the same photographer.
It might have been. And I was living, my family was at that moment in time living in Bensonhurst with my yaya, my Greek grandmother. And I think I swear it was probably the same studio they took us to and plopped us down, except that you had all this wonderful hair and I had this little fountain of hair sticking up in the middle of my head. But I really wanted to ask you that. And so, my parents are gone. Everyone's gone. There's no way to find out.
I remember.
I don't know if you and Sue and Richard did this on purpose, because I sent them some stuff, and you probably did too. So did you do that on purpose?
There was a photographer in the building across the street from my grandma Fanny. A very good photographer who I think we used to use, and it might be the same person. And I'll try to get that name to come back. And
I don't know even if you did, if there's anybody in my world I could ask. But it just struck me. Here we are, these two little girls in Bensonhurst with our similar dresses and similar pose.
Do you think that there's any possibility whatsoever that your paths crossed as little girls in Bensonhurst before you both went on beyond Brooklyn?
If we were the same age, pretty much. Where did you go to school? Did you go to kindergarten or?
Where did you go to school, Carole?
Well, we moved. World War II came along and everything changed. My father was in the OSS, and we weren't always allowed to know where he was. But we moved around because my mother was with her sisters, so that we could all sort of hang together and pray for all of the people in our family who were gone to war, 9 men.
Like that.
So, but that's the way it was. I went to school in the 1st grade in 3 different places, and
where was it?
I went to the 1st grade in 3 different places.
Oh.
I first went in Pennsylvania, where one of my mother's sisters was, and then in Falls Church, Virginia, because my father was stationed in Washington, D.C. before he left. And then when we came home, I finished 1st grade in Brooklyn. And I wanted to take a chance before this, more people piled up here to ask you if you knew where your picture was taken, because then I might find out where mine was, because I think it was the same.
That would be so much of a coincidence.
Yes. My mind.
Richard, are you going to bring our next guest on? Or?
Yes, but before we do that, I want to acknowledge a few comments here. Kathleen Hassett-Hochberg is here. She just made great masks for Danny and me, and they arrived. She says, happy birthday, lovely ladies. Michael Colby says hello. Natasha Castillo, Claudia Persevere Stack, Mercedes Herman. My non-cabaret friends are watching too. Another watch party that's going on. Scott Barbrino, Terry Levy, wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. Frank Dane, terrific, Terry Levy. And since we're on Frank Dane, I'm going to once again say, please contribute to the American Songbook Association if you can tonight. Jennifer Roberts, what a birthday party. Beautiful Terry. Michael Colby, beautiful performance, Terry. If you're still watching, we see you perfectly, Carole, Natasha says. It was terrific. As Dorothy Fields wrote, you couldn't be cuter, Carole, from Michael Colby. Scott Barbrino, Carole, you look marvelous. Is that a fully stocked bar behind you?
I had to say that. I just wanted to make sure they didn't think I was looking, at the floor. I didn't know where. Me, all those years of working on camera, I don't know where the camera.
And Leslie Mark Walters says Bensonhurst was the best place to be born. I'm only 4 years younger than Carole and Bobbie. And my mom is watching. So hello to my mom. Cynthia Crane says, hope y'all saw my ad in Cabaret Scenes. We'll make sure that everyone sees that ad. Now, there is a gentleman in Cabaret who I don't think there's a person out there who doesn't know who he is. He's beloved by everyone. And when I grow up, I want to be just like him. Sue, you want to introduce him?
I do. He's my buddy. We all know him from years of working with our beloved late Dana Lorge. Please welcome Warren Shine.
Now, there is a gentleman in Cabaret.
Hello.
Warren, you need to turn your computer off before we start.
Sorry?
You need to turn it down. We're getting, there's a delay, and we're getting everything. I want to be just like him. Sue, you want to introduce him? You need to turn it off, Warren.
What am I turning off?
Your computer.
Turn everything off so that you're here. But We may lose you.
Welcome.
We're getting an echo.
Now, there's a gentleman in town. Hello.
Lauren, you need to turn your phone.
Can you hear me now?
We're getting everything that's already been said.
We're getting, there's a delay, and we're getting everything. Oh, I want to be just like him. Sue, you want to introduce
You need to turn it off, Lauren.
Mike, turn off my whole computer?
You may need to turn it off and come back. You know.
Why don't we go, Warren? Why don't you sign off and then just come back on with the password that we gave you, and then we'll go to the next act and you can go back to the green room, and then we'll bring you back on.
Okay, you've obviously gone. You tried to connect through a different device, so we're going to kick you off, come back, and we're going to bring on our next guest. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Love you.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
He'll be back.
Oh, dear.
So while we're waiting for him to come back, we are going to introduce our next guest. She is a Broadway singer. She's appeared with Bobbie. She's appeared with Sue. She's appeared with me. But I think she's appeared more, Carole Demas, than all of us put together. Carole, do you have an idea who it might be?
I think I do.
Who would you like to say
No,
it is?
No, I don't want to screw up, but
Okay, there she is.
it has to be Sarah.
Here she is.
Sarah. Hello.
I
Oh, you look incredible.
my beauties.
We made waffles with the waffle maker last night.
Are you guys? Are we weird?
We can barely hear you, Doc.
Sound weird?
It does.
Or
You
can
need
you
to get
hear me
closer
okay?
to your phone.
Can you hear me?
We can when you're closer to the phone.
You're frozen. I know. It's all that I have, though.
Sarah.
I can hear you.
Sarah, can you take the phone and put it here so that you can, your voice is closer, we can see your full face? Can you hold it and just
My
do
mouth
it
is
kind of
right
like
next to the speaker.
Okay.
I can hear her.
No, my mouth is right next to the speaker. If I get any closer, I'll be putting spit on it.
But all we're seeing is your hair.
I'm sorry?
All we're seeing is your forehead and your hair.
Yes, but my mouth is right next to the speaker.
Okay, well.
Can you hear me?
We can. It's more important that we hear you. So why don't you tell the ladies what you think and what you're going to say, and we can see how this works. Are you still there?
Here's the birthday sign that Carole made for me for my birthday, and I
made it, actually.
put Bobbie and Carole on it just for today.
Aw.
It's my favorite thing. Is the sound horrible?
It's faint, but it's because you're on a phone instead of a computer.
Really low? Because you're stuttering like crazy.
We're what?
It's because you're on an
Let
iPhone,
me
Sarah.
switch. Although I don't think I have a I don't even think microphone on my computer.
Okay, but I mean, we'll
Let me
deal
come
with
back.
it. You
I
know,
will come back. Let me see what I can cobble together.
Jamie DeRoy says she loves the top of your
I'm
head.
sorry. This is technology is miserable.
Well, we'll do this another time. Okay?
Yeah.
I love you.
Because
Thanks for being
me
here.
very close
Thank
to the
you
speaker.
so much, my friend.
Say what you want to say, my love, and then we'll.
Okay, I'll try to set it up on my computer.
Okay.
If you can set it up on your computer, make sure that you're using Google Chrome and come back. Okay? I think we
she's
lost her.
frozen.
Okay. And we'll bring back our previous guest. So he's back here.
Here I am.
Yay!
Oh, there it is.
There I am. Let me tell you, I don't need this crap.
So Warren,
Yes.
I'm going to make a suggestion to you.
Go
Take
ahead.
off your glasses because you're getting the reflection of the computer. Perfect.
Boy, let me tell you, how your husband lives with you, you're a pain in the ass. Yeah, he had me on the phone till 10 o'clock last night figuring this out.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll
yet
tell you
you still
something.
didn't come on right.
That's right. And you know what, girls? I don't even like you. No. Carol,
Yes.
let me tell you, if this is how I get to see you and possibly get an invitation back to your beautiful house, after our last performance together about, let's see, we were living in caves at the time at the Irvington Town Hall. I think that's when they first opened it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you invited us. Yeah, it was 2010.
It opened. The theater opened in 1910.
Well, you look pretty damn good. I gotta tell you, you look pretty good. I'm telling you. And we went back to her house and we sat around that fire pit, and we had those little pigs in a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It reminded me of my bar mitzvah. But Carol, I've admired.
Is that about mitzvah?
Am I talking to you, Bobbie? Stop talking. By the way, Bobbie, tomorrow you're going to get a special delivery from Amazon. I ordered you 10 gallons of Miracle Grow for that flower growing on your shoulder. It's wilting a little bit.
I think you need to get Miracle Stop because Bobbie never stops.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
No.
You know what? None of us would ever be able to do a show because there'd be no one in the audience except she comes to every show. You know,
True.
It's
That's true.
but let me get back to Carol for a second. Richard, would you stop interrupting me?
Yes, go ahead.
Because I really don't like you. I'm not. And Sue,
Okay.
it's a good thing your husband has money. But Carol,
Yes.
I miss you. It was a pleasure to work with you the one time. Obviously, you're looking at the end of my career.
Well, in Nana's shows, you know,
We've done a lot of things together, and it really has been wonderful. And because of you, I know how to spell because of Sesame Street.
That's nice.
Okay, I thought I would just tell you that. So
Well, that is nice.
But you have a beautiful home, and you're a wonderful entertainer, and you bring such joy. And it's an honor to actually watch you perform. It is. I'm not as eloquent as Rabbi Russ Woolley was earlier, but it's, because I've been locked in my house for the past 3 months. As you can see, my hair, is growing.
Ross, Warren, you look great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. I'm out in the sun every day getting my tan, but it is a privilege.
To go with
I wasn't going to say it, but who's ever helping you do the dye job, not so
Now,
good.
excuse me, I have to ask you a question. Your bed seems to have a life of its own behind you.
I'm going to tell you why.
It's breathing, it's going up and down. What's going on with your bed?
Well, 2 reasons. One, I gave it Viagra. And secondly, if you would have remembered yesterday, I said I'm having some work done, and they've been painting and fixing all day. So I'm sitting in the corner with this plastic rubbing up against it, hitting me in the back over here.
Okay.
And what? And mind your business, Richard.
Oh, well, I'm observant.
By the way, that jacket you're wearing,
yes,
I've seen it enough times.
Okay.
I got to honor you both. Really, Richard and Sue, for what you're doing tonight is just a lovely.
Well, after you, we deserve a medal.
Yes.
You're not kidding. I was going to say that, but now that you brought it up, because usually your work stinks. But Bobbie, there are no words I could possibly ever come up with to really say how much I love you. Bobbie and I have a very special relationship. She writes me emails, and she always signs off. First she says, "My dear son," and she ends it, "I love you, your mamala." She is my mamala. And she will send me notes from time to time. I miss you so much. I haven't seen you. I don't remember the last time I saw you. I don't remember where I was this morning, to tell you the truth. But you are a gem. It is a privilege to know you. It's a privilege to know you both for what you give us all with your gratitude, your talents. Bobbie, you do everything. You didn't know that Bobbie has a hot dog stand on Friday afternoons on 46th and 10th? She does. And they're not even kosher. But What you give us all is worth all the gold that we could ever possibly have. Both of you. It is absolutely true. And how much I enjoy doing shows to Goya with you, with Corinna, with Stearns, with our beautiful Dana Lorge.
Mm.
And I know that she's wishing you both a big happy birthday right now, wearing enough glitter and glam.
And leopard.
Leopard. I bet her wings are made out of leopard.
She said when somebody asked her favorite color, she said leopard.
Leopard. Well,
Oh, I love that. That's
whatever
great.
the color of the day was. And I'm sorry that I wasn't able to bring the handbag with the clock with me here tonight. It's packed away because I'm afraid to put it out
Do you
on
actually
the floor.
have the do you have her clock purse, Warren?
Well, I do now. There were two.
Okay.
And I went after we had a discussion a few weeks ago, Richard, I went out and hunted the other one down. And I threatened someone's life. I said, you'll either I'm taking it home tonight, whether you're alive or not. So, and they graciously gave it to me. And but I know that I know she's here in spirit. She's with us all the time. She really is. But you two ladies, I only hope that when I turn 80 next July, that I will be looking as beautiful as both of you. Because you're both charming. What
Thanks
else
for
can I
being
say?
here, Warren. You're just such a pal, and thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being
Just
here.
tell me, when do I get my check? I'm just
It's in the
It's gonna
mail.
be in the mail.
In the mail. Sue and
God
I
bless
both
you.
signed it today.
Yep. Don't worry.
Okay. God bless you all. I love
I
you from
love
my heart.
you.
Bless
Thank you. Thank you.
Richard, I need you to bring on our next guest because I need to make a call for our special guest. So I will.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, before we bring on our next guest, do you still want to go ahead and make the call, or should I go ahead and read the comments first?
Read some comments, bring on our next guest, and then I'll get our special person lined up.
Okay.
You're all special. You're all special.
Mark Alter is still here. Corinna Sauers-Adler is laughing at Warren still. Russ Woolley says quarantine looks better on Warren than normal. He should always stay in his home. Victoria Chin says, LOL, Russ. Corinna Sauers-Adler, that was for our Cabaret on the Hudson series.
Yes.
Russ Woolley reminded him of his bris. Daniel Gettleman loved the way Warren is channeling Don Rickles. Russ Woolley, you look better. Stay home more, please. Victoria Chin, LOL, Rabbi Russ Woolley. Leslie Mark Alter, waterbed. Leslie Mark Alter, seasick. Victoria Chin, LOL, Russ Woolley, Ann Kittredge, Bob Mundley. Let's see if there are any other comments here. And before you go, Sue, hold on a second. Meg Flather is watching, and she says, I love these women. I love all of you. Before we actually have you make the phone call, somebody that was here previously is doing this is take two. So let's see if this works.
Okay,
Hello,
great.
Sarah.
Sarah. Hey.
Hi, I'm back.
That's better.
Carolyn told me that I can be heard just fine. So I'm going to sing my song quick.
Okay.
And send my love to you. You are both such spectacular goddesses. You both are. Just so much, and I'm so glad that you're this today. And you know, every night Mark Watson and I say, you know something, we made it through the day, and this is a good day. So that's the way I know we all feel. And thank God spring is coming. But this is my wish for both of you throughout your life. Hold on. I have to start the thing. I'm here. Okay.
Okay.
Hello. God bless technology, right?
I think it needs to be. It needs.
I think it needs to be blessed more. Yeah, I agree with you, Carol.
But look, without it, we wouldn't have this. It's really an amazing thing.
We're all like, ooh, shiny, press buttons.
Yes.
So this is for you two lovelies. Lay down your head and I'll sing you a lullaby back to the years of Looney Lily, and I'll sing you to sleep, and I'll sing you tomorrow. Bless you with love for the road that you go. May you sail fair to the far fields of fortune with diamonds and pearls at your head and your feet, and may you need never to banish misfortune. May you find kindness in all that you meet. May there always be angels to watch over you, to guide you each step of the way, to guard you and keep you safe from all harm. Ooly, ooly, lily. May you bring love, and may you bring happiness, beloved, in return to the end of your days. Now fall off to sleep. I'm not meaning to keep you. I'll just sit for a while and sing you lovely. May there always be angels to watch over you, to guide.
I think we may have frozen.
Well, she was wonderful.
Thank you.
We lost her, but I love you. I love you. I love you, Sarah. And I don't know if you can still hear us or not, but you froze at the right moment.
Perfect moment, really.
It just made me laugh because it was like it was planned. I love you, Sarah, and we will talk very, very soon.
Bye,
Now,
Sarah.
I know that Sue has to go, believe it or not, and make a phone call because we have a very surprise guest who is not able to go on live on camera, but is here. But while we're waiting for that phone call, Bobbie, a lot of people don't know this, but you have a daughter. Would you like to talk a little bit about your daughter?
Oh, she's here, I bet. Oh, my daughter is incredible. And she came to this country from another country, and she is brilliant, and she does so many things. She's a fabulous videographer, as well as a singer, and as well as an entertainer, and as well as being just very brilliant in like office type of work and stuff. And she's very in demand. And I'm so thrilled that she is here.
All you have to do is say her name and you'll see her.
My baby, Natasha.
Hi, Mommy. Look at that. Oh my God. I love everyone here today. Everyone is awesome. And thank you so much, Richard, for inviting me to surprise.
Oh my God, we couldn't do this without you tonight, Natasha.
And Carole is awesome too. I met Carole through Bobbie, because when she was doing a thing, we even had dinner together at Mama. It was so much fun. Well, I wanted to say that, there's nothing like friends. And, it's like making new friends in cabaret. It made all the difference to me. And being quarantined, this is what really keeps me going, all my friends. And I want to sing a song that's dedicated to all my friends. And here we go. Let me see how this works with the music.
Oh.
It's cheesy, but it is what I mean. And I never thought I'd feel this way. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I got the chance to say that I do believe I love you. And if I should ever go away, well then close your eyes and try to feel the way we do today. And then if you can remember, keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for good times and bad times. I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Well, you came in openly, and now there's so much more I see. And by the way, I thank you. Oh, and then for the times when we're apart, well, then close your eyes and know these words are coming from my heart. And then if you can remember, keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for good times and for bad times. I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Mommy, Carole, Sue, and Richard, I love you all, and I miss you all, and I can't wait to see you all on the other side of this virus, and I hope that we can all celebrate in person next time.
We will.
That would be wonderful.
I love you so much, Natasha. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, in a moment, we've got a very special phone call. But before we get there, I do want to remind everyone once again that we are here tonight also on behalf of the American Songbook Association. We made a decision not to charge anyone to be here tonight. So I'm hoping that all of the many people right now in this room alone, there are 57 people. And if everybody that's watching just made a contribution of even $10, That's $570. And then all of the watch groups that are going on out there and everything, they do great work. You're going to hear a little bit more about them in a little bit. Before, I just want to say hello to a few people in case we lose them in the stream. Michael Kirklane is still with us. Wendy Stewart, Anna Reem Barr, Victoria Chen, Russ Woolley, Frank Dane, Jennifer Roberts, Corinna Sowers-Adler, Bob Mundley, Rob Russell, Meg Flather, Scott Barbarino, Pamela Lewis. Thank you all for being here. And do you want to introduce our next guest? Is he ready to go?
Well, there's no introduction. I'm just going to have this person hold him up to the mic and let him speak. Here we go. You're on, my friend.
Oh, I knew it had to be something.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
I am calling to wish Bobbie and Carole the happiest of birthdays. They are the template for what 80 looks like, and I so love them. I first met Bobbie at a club called Panache in the 1980s when she appeared with her partner Spectre and all her wonderful songs. And I met Carole more recently up there on the Hudson. But I think you ladies share such a magnificent spirit, and you light up every room you're in, and you're in many rooms. So we hope that we will all be together again, because whenever we are, it is a celebration of the gift of life, which we are all still sharing. Good night, my darlings.
Wow.
That was thank you, Sydney.
Wow.
That was amazing.
Wow.
And thank you for joining us. We all love you and send you lots of love and can't wait to be back on campus and see your lovely face. The ladies are sending their love.
Thank you, darling.
I love you, Sydney.
Thank you, Sydney.
Let's catch up
Thank
soon.
you.
Thank you.
Good night, my dear.
Thank you. Now, there is a wonderful, phenomenal new singer that, well, he's been around for a couple of years, but he really, within the last year or so, has made his mark on New York City in such a phenomenal way. He even won a MAC award this year. He's one of Bobbie's favorite male singers. I know that he's one of your favorite male singers because I've been with you when I've seen you, isn't the right word cavell? So I'd like to introduce, and this also happens to be one of my favorite new singers, everyone, Sean Patrick Murtaugh.
Hey there.
Looking great.
Thank you. Bobbie Horowitz, I can't tell you, all of a sudden I'm getting emotional just speaking to you. I miss running into you at clubs. I miss running into you on 8th Avenue and walking with you to the bus stop. It is just, you are such a light and such a special gift and such a fan and such a cheerleader. You really, you are the glue to this community, and I just adore you. Carole, we have not met in real life,
No.
but I look forward. I'm so happy to be here to celebrate you in everything that you've done and contributed to this community. I put on a jacket for you too, right? I didn't put on pants, but I got dressed up.
Squibbles.
Yeah.
You know, and as you see, my entire family came to wish you a very happy birthday.
But I have to say something, Sean. I'm looking at you, and I think that your next show is Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, I should start practicing this piano I have behind me. But yeah, so this show is very special to me, and it's one of my introductions to Bobbie. She was so supportive in this road, and I couldn't have done half of what I did without you, Bobbie. And to you and Carole, I wish you the most beautiful birthdays, and we will celebrate soon in person. But I'm so glad that we can do this with freezing, with internet issues, whatever. How amazing that we can do this. So this one is for both of you. Be my love, for no one else can end this yearning, this need that you and you alone create. Just fill my arms the way you fill my dreams, the dreams that you inspire with every sweet desire. Be my love, and with your kisses set me burning. One kiss is all I need to seal my fate, and hand in hand we'll find love's promised land. There'll be no one but you for me, eternally, if you will be my love. I love you, Bobbie. Be my love, and with your kisses set me burning. One kiss is all I need to seal my fate, and hand in hand we'll find love's promised land. There'll be no one but you for me, eternally, if you will be my love.
Oh, Sean, I love you.
What can you say?
Oh my goodness. Bobbie, a wonderful happy birthday to you. Carole, happy birthday to you. Many, many more years to come. And I just can't wait to give you both hugs as soon as we see each other in person, and Carole, as soon as we meet. But
John, I would pay money right now to hear you and Carole do a duet. We're going to have to make that happen at some show in the future, because those are two voices that would be awful purty together.
I would love to. I've been looking for a Catherine Grayson for some time now. So
that's wonderful.
If I see her, I'll let you know where she is.
Good night. Love you.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Sean.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Wow. Isn't he amazing?
Jamie DeRoy said Sean Patrick Murdoch went from being my trustedest bookkeeper to a star.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I know he was worked for her for years. And I also, I see a comment here from David Sabella, and David wants to know how people can make a contribution. On the bottom of the screen, we don't have a link that you can actually click on, but if you go to the American Songbook Association.org, you can make a donation right through the website. I hope that all of you will do that. We didn't want money to cross our hands, Sue and I. So if you can go directly to the source and make a contribution, it would really be wonderful. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And Sue, would you like?
Yes. Do we have our next guest ready?
Yeah.
Ready to go? This lady is amazing. I've done a couple shows with her. She's a very good friend of Carole's. And some of you may know her because she's done some very iconic roles on soap operas. She's pretty famous. Her name is Eileen Kristen.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Is it surreal? Well, happy pandemic birthday.
Yes.
Gal. Bobbie, I know what a cheerleader,
Been here so
what a
long.
cheerleader you've been for so many artists. And Carole, I have known you for 48 years.
Wow.
And I just have to tell you, you are one of the most talented, kindest, compassionate, and sensitive people that I have ever known. And I remember when my song was cut from Grease, and nobody wanted to go near me because they were afraid it was going to be like Catching. And I remember you were the only person who just put your arms around me because you understood. And I will never, ever, that's just one of the things that I will never forget.
Thank you.
So I want to dedicate one of my songs to you. So I switched the words around a little bit. So,
okay.
And I'm going to have some help by my better half, Gary Donatelli.
Yay, Gary.
Carole, thank you for the sunshine bouquet. Carole, thank you for the love that you brought my way. You gave to me your all and all, and now I feel at least 5 foot tall. Carole, once so true, I love you. Carole, once so true. Happy birthday to you. And Bobbie, too.
Thank you.
Eileen, thank you so much for being part of this tonight.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
And I'll be watching.
Oh, have a great evening. And thank you, better half. You're both, you make great music together. Thank you.
Love you all.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. I know the ladies do. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
So
Thank
much.
you so much.
Great to see you.
Now we see that I guess Brian Summers has just joined us and everyone. And, I keep saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it. In addition to celebrating Carole and Bobbie and all the contributions that you both give to our community and beyond, I also, once again, want to mention that we are raising money tonight, hopefully, for the American Songbook Association. And, of course, the American Songbook Association is the umbrella, either above or beneath, wherever you want to put them, for Cabaret Scenes Magazine. And Cabaret Scenes Magazine has been such a wonderful part of the cabaret community for how many years now?
A long, long time.
A long, long time.
Yeah, we'll ask Frank.
Yes, you can go ahead.
We'll ask him when he comes on.
Well, let's bring him on.
Nothing like blowing a surprise.
Wow, what an intro. Thanks.
Hi, handsome.
But
25 years.
25.
Oh, you
years.
got street corner.
Yeah, we've been going on that long, and we made some changes, which I think are for the good. And so you can join the American Songbook Association and get 6 issues of the magazine. But enough about that kind of stuff. Happy birthday, ladies.
Thank you.
So nice to be here. Thank you for having me. And thank you for allowing us to glob onto your birthday for a fundraiser. That just shows how much you both contribute to this community and how much you just love what you do and want to share with what you do and make all of us feel great when we go in to see a show or even just see you at a show where you're not performing. Bobbie always has a hug. She's always got a hug for me. And
He does.
she's been a great champion of me and of the magazine and of the American Songbook Association, which is the umbrella over where most umbrellas go on.
Yes.
So it's over the magazine, it's over the education and outreach program that Carolyn Montgomery conducts in schools, mostly in underprivileged schools, and a few other things that we have coming up. So you can go to AmericanSongbook.org and click on Become a Member, and that will show you where you can either pay by credit card or by check. So, but I have to say, Carole, I saw you in, I'm going to age myself. I saw you in Greece on Broadway on a school trip here. So it was nice to meet you in person when you and Sarah did your show. And Bobbie, again, thank you for, you're right, it really is just a number. Sometimes you get up and the number's a little too high, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. So I'm going to try this. So until we can all be together again, I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. And that's it for me tonight. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Richard.
We don't want you to leave.
It's been great. I just think everybody's been terrific, and I so appreciate the time and energy people have put into this for us, but more importantly, for these two ladies who really, really deserve it. So thank you all. And we'll be seeing you in the clubs, I hope, very soon.
We hope.
Very soon.
Thanks for being here, hon.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, this afternoon, when we were going through, I want to tell you, and Sue Matsuki, I can't sing your praises enough, has been here helping me put this together. And this isn't just, me doing all this thing. It's collaboration. And that's what our community is about. It's all about collaboration. It's working together. It's not saying, this is my ego, that's my ego, whatever. But this afternoon, we were going through the pages, and I have done so many test drives to make sure that everything would go according to plan tonight. And so far, I'm knocking on wood, I think it's going smoothly. But this afternoon, when we were going through everything, Eileen said, why isn't
so-and-so
in the show? And I said, well, I don't really know how to get in touch with this person. And Eileen said, well, I'll make a phone call. And then before I knew it, she learned to go on Facebook. She learned to accept private messenger. She did a complete new learning curve so that she could be here tonight for you. And this is one of your oldest, I understand, and dearest friends, Joy Rinaldi.
Oh, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
Oh. Joy and I met. Yes, hello, honey.
Oh,
Bobbie.
Happy.
Joy, meet Bobbie.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, dear.
Now, there's a little bit of a delay with you, Joy, but Joy is on the West Coast. She's actually frozen right now. So hopefully, that will resolve itself. Joy, one thing you may need to do is leave the studio completely and come back, and you might have a better connection that way. We find that sometimes that happens. I'm actually going to remove you from the stream, and I hope that you'll come back. Let's see if we can. There she is. Great.
Sure.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm back. Oh, thank God I don't have to do this again.
You don't need to do this again.
Okay. Can I talk?
Yes, please do.
There's a bit of a delay, but we're going to shut up and let you do the talking.
Go ahead, Joy.
Happy.
Well, this happens, sometimes especially with live streaming and everything. We're all flying by the seat of our pants right now, try to create something. I'm going to get Joy out of the studio, and I hope that she'll come back so that we'll hopefully have a better connection. And I'm sorry about that, but she tried.
Yes.
That's the important thing.
She worked really hard to try to be able to learn all these things, Carole, just so that she can say hello to you. So we'll try to get her back.
So as soon as she comes back,
I just sit here. It is hard for a lot of people. I had to learn just to be here.
We all did.
Well, that I appreciate. I'm gonna just put it out there. We've got a few more guests that are going to join us tonight. Are you having a good time, both of you? First of all,
Yeah.
we have a few other guests that are in the wings. They haven't gotten here yet. One of them just, somebody who wanted to be a part of this but didn't know if she would be available or not, just texted me. So I'm going to send her a private message. I just want to talk with all of you while we're waiting for some of our next guests to arrive. And just to let you know, all of you who know that you're going on tonight, go ahead and sign on because we are at the end of the show. I know that one of the guests had another event. Didn't know if he was going to be able to be here or not. So as soon as they come in, we'll bring them on.
We should just say, those of you that are watching outside, go out and then come in so that you can be put into the green room, just so that we know you're here.
Right. So I'm going to, Sue, why don't you take over and speak for a few moments, because I am going to send a invite to someone who wants to come on and say hello.
Great.
Someone who is not actually on our list, but really wanted to be here tonight. So I'm going to see if we can get her on.
Well, I have a question for each of you. I'll ask Bobbie first. What is the one piece of advice that a mentor or a friend gave to you, either professionally or personally, that you've incorporated in your life and that's changed your life? And I'm going to ask Carole for the same thing. So you get a few minutes to think about it.
That's not fair. I get more time.
Well, I was very blessed to have an Uncle Arnie. My Uncle Arnold Horowitz was a high school teacher in Brooklyn. He was born with, I didn't realize this when I was young, but with a childhood illness that meant he probably would not live that many years.
Mm-hmm.
But his thing was always show up and look for what you can do in that room. What can you do? Don't have to do what they do. Everybody has their thing, and just know that it's going to be all right, and someone in there is going to really get something from it.
Boy, that must have changed your life both personally and professionally. That's a great example.
Totally. And when he passed at 47 years old, he helped so many people. Mm-hmm. And my inspector, my partner in writing there, she knew him too, because we went to high school together.
Beautiful. Carole, what advice did you get from someone that helped you?
I wouldn't be here. I would have had probably a different life altogether, because I didn't grow up a showbiz kid or in a family with a background in theater or music. My parents were both first-generation Americans, Polish and Greek, who didn't speak English at home when they were children. And I went to the University of Vermont and kind of stumbled into this world that we're in right now, because of a man named Greg Falls, who was a professor there. And it wasn't a theater school at all. In fact, they looked kind of sideways at it, It was like, okay, if you get good grades and everything else, we'll let you go on with this nonsense. But he did teach a few theater courses, and he and his wife went to New York during this, during breaks. They would go and they would see things, and they brought back the Fantastics album. It was 1960, and it only just opened, and they played it for me in their living room.
Wow.
And he looked at me and he said, "You're going to do this someday."
Wow.
And I say in the Thank You for Your Love show for Tom and Harvey that Sarah and I do, that I listened to that music. I thought, maybe I could.
So he planted the seed for this.
That's great.
And it was about 6 years later, as I say in that show, that I'm in a phone booth on the corner of Sullivan Street and calling them. And they are now in Seattle, he and his wife, and he became the head of the whole theater department there. in University of Washington, which is huge, and saying, I'm doing it. You were right. But someone has to, that you trust, to know what they're doing. Because, I mean, your parents will tell you that, your friends will tell you that. But if you don't have much confidence in yourself, if there's someone who will tell you that, who you think, if he thinks so, maybe this is possible. But also they were the most wonderful, good people to me. And he developed Alzheimer's fairly early, which is so cool. And his wife, Jean, lived to be 93.
Wow.
And died very recently. But those two people changed my life. So many people.
Still in your heart, which is what's important.
You can't live a life, right, Bobbie, without so many people who contribute something to you, make you, find things in you, help you find things in yourself.
Well, ladies, I hope you understand that the examples that both of you set, Bobbie, you showing up and being a mother, a mamala to so many of us, and Carole, the grace and elegance that you present yourself with, have taught us these same lessons as these mentors have taught you. So understand in my life what you've done in terms of changing my life. And I thank you both for that.
Absolutely.
We have our next guest.
And, well, Joy Rinaldi is back.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I want to see if we can get her on. Joy, well, it's a black screen. There's a black screen.
And a beautiful.
There you are.
Up there is the top of your head.
We'll see if we have a better connection.
Try this again.
I shouldn't have. Oh, this is unbelievable. Okay, well, I have so many memories with you. Who would have known when I met you in 1972 at the original cast of Grease down at the Eden Theater that you would become my best friend for the next 40 some odd years. You've had such an influence on my life, Carole. You've been there for the best and the worst times of my life. I think one of the memories that I did want to share with you is when my mom died, which was like the worst day of my life, and you offered to come and stay at the house. And we went off, and I said, "This is where the delicatessen stuff is, and do what you want." And when we came back, the house was filled with flowers that you'd gotten from my mother's from the backyard. And you found vase. You transformed it. Was other people feel good about themselves. You make the sacrifices. You do whatever it takes, and I don't know anyone except my mother who's as beautiful inside and outside as you are, Carole. You're just an amazing woman. And the other one I want to talk about, which is the opposite of a funeral, is your wedding day with Stuart. We all got up at the back of dawn and we went off to the woods. It was a beautiful park, and we fixed it up. We were all in our blue jeans and everything, and then it changed in the middle of the day and got into our festive outfits. And I don't know how to describe it except that it was the most elegant picnic wedding I've ever been to. And we got these little favors, these little net things that had a bow on it, and it had like potpourri in it. And I kept 3 of them, and I've kept them this entire time, and I have them in a little antique candy dish, and I keep it on my dressing table where I put my makeup on. What year were you married? Whatever year that was.
1983.
A long time ago. I had that on my dressing table for decades and decades, and I'm never taking them off because I take you with me. You're with me all the time. You're with me all the time. And there's so many things like that. And in the midst of doing all this sacrifice and taking care of everything.
We've lost you, Joy.
So Eileen was telling us that the 3 of you are.
Don't you think that's appropriate?
Eileen was telling us that the 3 of you are kind of like a triad. That you, the 3 of you have a long time.
Yes.
Friendship. That's a beautiful thing.
Oh my God! Yeah.
The longest friends in my life are my siblings, and then there's Paula, we've been friends since we were 14, which is what now, 60? Is that 66 years? Yes.
I'm going to shout this out to all the sisterhood, many of whom are watching on the side here. We have a group in our cabaret community called the Sisterhood, and you three remind me, and Bobbie's an honorary member of that group, but you remind me of that longevity and love and support of each other. Thank you so much for being here, Joy. I know it was a pain in the neck to try to get this coordinated, but we're so happy we got you on.
Okay, thank you so much, Joy, for being here. Thank
love
you.
Carole, to share my friends with Bobbie today the way she's sharing hers with me.
Thank you.
Delight.
Thank you. We've got people waiting up in the wings, and it's backing up, and I'm getting notifications that people can't get into the studio. So I've got to clear some space here. So forgive me, Joy. It's great
I
to
love
meet
you,
you.
Carole.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Okay, Sue, do you want to bring on our next guest?
I'm not sure who it is, so
throw out a name, and I'll let you know if they're here or not.
well, a fabulous singer that leads a choir.
Yes.
Okay. With that little hint, this is one of my favorite singers in the business, and you two are one of her favorite singers. So please bring on Miss Josephine Sanchez.
Oh,
Happy birthday. God, I love the two of you so much. Bobbie, you are really the godmother of us all. For those of us, who don't always have family coming to our shows, having you there is like really like, I know how Natasha feels. It's like having your own mother there. So thank you for all that you do for us all the time. And you really are just such a bright, inspirational light to all of us. So thank you and happy birthday.
So I just want to leave a message before you go on, Josephine. We have a couple of people that have already been on that is waiting in the wings.
I'll keep it.
No, don't leave. This is not about you. This is about people that have already been on that are waiting in the wings. I need you to click the red X where it says leave studio if you've already been on, because I can't let the new people in as long as space is being taken up. Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Take it, Josephine.
And Carole, I feel like I've known you my whole life. And lucky for me to be in this cabaret community where I got to meet you in person. It means so much to me to know you. And I've told you this story a few times, but, I watched you on television when I was a little girl. And my childhood wasn't always the happiest, but to see you on television every day was really a light in my day. So I thank you for all of that and all that you are. So you really did. You opened up my life and my imagination, and that's why I want to sing this song for you. Oh, let me get the technology working. Oh gosh, I forgot my accompanist is not right behind me. Let me get it out.
I just did that today. I was holding up my cell phone, introducing them as my accompanist. Yeah.
Let's see if we can make this work. I don't know if you can hear it.
Bobbie, you hear it?
Yeah. Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What you see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Want to change the world? Do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know that compares to pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly will.
God, do I love you. Oh, Josephine, thank you so much.
You could sing through a toilet paper tube, and I'd still pay money.
No, thank you, Josephine,
I
for
love
being
you
here
both.
tonight.
I adore you. And I want to drink whatever it is that you've got, that cup of long-lasting, wonderful genes that you've got, so please pass it on.
Thank you. We love you so much.
Thanks for being here.
My garden, that's the elixir.
I love
you, Bobbie.
Oh my God. I want to say, last on Wednesday nights, I do this thing called the Artist Way. And we were doing the Artist Way workshop on Wednesday night. And one of the women in the class was talking about the obstacles that she has encountered as an artist and getting the art out there. And one of the things that I really am so proud of in this community is how everyone has risen to the occasion. People have stepped out of their comfort zones. People have learned to do technology that they never tried before. Of course, we just had Josephine Sanchez doing what so many of our wonderful singers like Sue Matsuki and probably Bobbie, although I haven't seen this yet, and that's singing to our devices and trying to make music when those people, they talk about the essential workers. For those of us in the cabaret community, our essential workers are also musicians. And I want to ask you, Carole, what makes a great musical director?
Wow. Of course, we are lucky enough in our community to have many great musical directors.
Is there any musical director that you love to work with?
Oh, I started working with Ian Herman sometime around 1977.
And Ian may not realize he's
around in his
right
chair.
now.
He can play. He creates music of his own that's just to die for. He's the dearest person, one of the dearest people in my life.
I'm looking at the camera.
There you are. What are you doing here?
Someone will give you a hard time. That's your
Oh, God. That's his favorite.
Where is it? Oh.
Hi, Ian.
Hi. Happy birthday to both of you.
You know, Ian's birthday is the day before mine.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Happy 80. I know it's you.
Celebrate together. Of course, he's only half my age, but no.
And Bobbie, we don't know each other well. We're sort of new acquaintances.
Yeah.
Carole, I'm not sure who you are. I know I've heard of you. You look familiar.
So do you.
Yeah, thanks.
How did you two actually meet?
Do you want me
to go?
Henry, do you want to tell him?
We met in a class. It was a class based on, what's his name? I lost his name in my head.
Based on a person?
Yes, the class.
Oh, Warren Robertson.
Warren Robertson.
Robertson.
Warren Robertson, yeah. And I was a vocal coach for Walter Bobbie at the time. And Walter was in the show, in the class, and he asked me if I'd be interested in playing. And I came over, and Carole lived a block away, and then we were sort of inseparable for the next 40-some years.
The class was mostly in my apartment, and it was people who had studied with Warren, so we had a basic approach that we all knew, and everyone was either had been on Broadway or was a teacher or both, and we really worked with each other, and there was no one who led the class.
They were hysterical.
I recommend this.
I mean, like crazy hysterical. They used to throw fits in there. And then you say, now sing.
Yes, I mean, we really don't fool around. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, now I believe it.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, if you're paying a teacher, maybe they will be careful about hurting your feelings. But this group was both the most loving group, but
There was an amazing group of people. Yeah.
you know, they would not let you get away with anything. And it was for 2 years. And Kurt Peterson sort of really got this rolling. And I need to say that I learned more in the company of those people and in those 2 years that we worked together than in any other kind of situation along the way that I've been in.
It was a phenomenal group of people.
And Ian came in, and suddenly here was this kid who could play.
Well,
Well, Ian, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight.
I was going to play something, but I can't play after 9 o'clock. And I was going to sing something, but my voice teacher told me to stay on vocal rest for the next 20 to 30 years.
Oh, wow. Wow. You know, I think we have the same vocal teacher. I love you, Ian. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you.
So much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Now, one of my oldest friends in cabaret, he was the one who got me into the digital age in the first place. He has been my designer since day one of my social media life. I can't think of really doing much without having him at the forefront and by my side. And he wanted to be here to celebrate both of you tonight. And Bobbie, he's also your designer as well.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi.
Attaboy.
Yeah, well, happy birthday, Carole and Bobbie. My goodness. You know, this evening is very special celebration with both of you for very individual reasons. And I'll first start with you, Carole. You probably don't remember when we first met, do you?
You're going to have to help me.
Okay.
Well,
even though I meet a lot of people through Richard, strangely enough, our meeting had nothing to do with Richard this time. Well, as a fan of One Life to Live, I went to see Eileen Kristen's cabaret show at the Triad on November 1st, 2008.
Yes.
And knowing Eileen was in Greece, I brought with me my Greece record album and a program for her to sign. And there you were.
Yeah.
We met and you graciously signed my album and program too. I'll never forget. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, look at that.
You signed it, down here.
Yes.
And Eileen signed it up there. And it's also signed by Adrienne Barbeau because she was in Pippin here in Baltimore.
Oh, are you in Baltimore now?
I'm in Baltimore. That's where I live now.
Oh.
I also had you sign my Grease album.
Well, thank you.
It's reversed.
So incredible.
So there, and then Eileen signed in the middle, and then again, and Adrienne over here. But I love those. They're my favorites. Grease has always been one of my favorite shows, and I thank you so much for that. And now, because of Richard's events that I can go to and get to, here you are, and it's wonderful to call you a friend. Have a very happy birthday next Tuesday, right?
Thank you, Glenn. Yes.
Yes. Now for Bobbie Horowitz.
There she is.
Bobbie, darling, Bobbie, dearest, Bobbie. Well, it's such an honor to call you my friend. And what do you go and do? You turn around and honor me in your It's Just a Number show last October 17th, which was right on my birthday, which made it one of the most memorable birthdays that I've had to date. So I hope that this birthday of yours, and that's today?
It's right today, yeah.
Wow. See, that I didn't know. I didn't even know when I knew when Carol was, I didn't know when yours was. So I hope this is just the most memorable birthday for you, as last year has been for me. And it's you who have taught me that whatever age this date makes you every year, remember it's just a number.
Wow.
Happy birthday and much love to both of you, Bobbie and Carole.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
for being here, Glenn. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. You
He
look
had religious
fabulous.
services to be here tonight. So
Yes, I left them early, and actually, I was waiting. Your little backstage thing, but I was I clicked the wrong link, and I saw myself waiting, but then I didn't see anything else, and I noticed up top it said this meeting has ended. And I was like,
Yeah, we had some clog up. So,
but we are winding it up, and we got 2 more surprises. One that Sue doesn't even know about.
Ooh.
So anyway, Glenn, thank you for being here, and we'll
thank
talk.
you for having me.
Thank you. Love you.
Happy birthday, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have a very special guest who's been watching, and she's been wanting to come on tonight. And I want to play a game with all of you before we bring her on. She's in cabaret. I'll give you a hint. She won a MAC award this year, and she's much beloved in cabaret. She's also a phenomenal singer. You may even see her late night on television if you are channel surfing and you have to come across. Who do you think it is, Sue?
I
There's an expression on your face.
happen to sell makeup and products and
It
stuff.
might be, but you'd have to mention
Oh.
her name to see if it's really her.
Well, if I say it and it's the wrong person, I think you should.
I don't think it's going to be the wrong person.
Okay. If it's my sister, it's my beautiful, beautiful Meg Flather.
And there she is. Oh!
I'm not very home shopping right now.
Oh, you know, Meg, I'm so thrilled that you're here.
And I tell you, I was so emotional watching this, and I texted Richard. I just tell them happy birthday because I love these women, and then he brought me along. So thank you.
Hello.
And you too.
Congratulations on your MAC award this year.
Well, Sue Matsuki had a lot to do with it. It was truly an act of community and truly sisterhood. And what's interesting is it came out of kind of a personal hardship because I went through a vocal loss last year. And it was a wonderful push because Sally Darling was like, you need to get your songs out there and have a community show, because it was a fantasy of mine to have lots of women come together, sing my songs, support each other, encourage each other, to create a really safe environment. And it happens so easily. So there's a lesson in that. When it happens that easily, it's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. But what's so interesting is the show came out of sisterhood. And that's what Bobbie and Carole know how to do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you too, by the way, Miss Matsuki. And Richard, when you—
I learned from the best.
Dressing feminine ensemble.
Richard is our sister too, aren't you, Richard?
Yes,
absolutely. He's an honorary sister. He really is. But it's, just to say a couple of things about the two of you. So all roads do lead to Dana Lorge, because I remember, Richard, I'll never forget that first time going to Iguana with my mom, and how you and Dana just made us feel like rock stars. I had been outside of the community for a while, singing my songs in the folk East Village circuit. And Sue was like, you need to come back. You need to join MAC. And I do everything that Sue Matsuki says. So I joined MAC, and it was the best thing I ever did. And I remember going into Iguana that night and bringing Mom with me, and how you made us feel like rock stars, how you made her feel so normal and included. And she ordered her quesadilla and her Pinot Grigio, and everybody treated her so beautifully. And you and Dana gave us such a great show. And such a, forget what the open mic part of it, but what your performances did were so amazing. So before even the open mic part started, you had the standard of what entertainment should be, to lift, to inspire, to make us feel things, and great music and great timing. So that's where I first met Bobbie, and Bobbie was sort of Dana's other person. And then Bobbie is the person that comes to everybody's show. Bobbie is the first person to respond to an email blast when you have a show and says, I will be there. And we all know how vulnerable we feel when we throw a show out there. And are we going to fill the room and all that? And Bobbie comes back and says, I've made my reservation. I've made my reservation. I will be at your show. And she's the first in line, by the way, and the best dressed.
And she's the first one to write a review, like 5 minutes after she leaves the room. She goes home and writes
a reviewer. Right.
And Richard
One of
Skipper,
my favorite expressions in the world from Bobbie is, "There I go again." Complaining about another show that I just loved.
Yes. And the thing
I hope that you'll keep going, "There I go again," for another 80 years.
Yes. And what's interesting, Richard, is I call her the Dolly Levi of cabaret. I hope you're okay with that.
I am perfectly fine with that.
And then the Carole story is very magical because it's also a Dana Loesch story. So when Dana was doing the Metropolitan Room shows that she did, I attended and I watched Carole light up the stage, and I knew she was famous, and I knew she had a Broadway legacy, and the Fantastics is such a huge part of my childhood, and that's a whole other story. But that doesn't matter to me because I see a lot of famous people perform, and with all due respect, do they all move me? No. They're famous, they're talented, great, but the art form of cabaret is connection. And I'll never forget, because it was a long night. She was at the end of the show. She went up there and she lit the place up. I've never been able to articulate it, what she did, because, you know, you're tired, it's the end of the night. And who's this person? Oh yeah, she's famous, la, 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 la. And glorious voice, glorious heart, glorious intention. So the show ends, we're all going into the street, 22nd Street. And I approached Carole and I told her what I thought of her performance. And she was so generous. You were so generous to me because you didn't know who I was. And here you were trying to get into your car and get back to your home with your beautiful husband. And you really looked me in the eye and you really thanked me and you appreciated what I had to say.
Sure did.
That's what I remember. That's, to me, as important as the glorious voice and the glorious talent and the intention was who you were in the street.
Wow, Meg, thank you, first of all, for being here. I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to stay right here.
I'm happy as a clam. I put on some lipstick.
Okay, we are here at the grand finale, and I have saved a very special person for the last. But before I get to announcing this last person, I want to say a few things. First of all, Sue, I love you more than you'll ever know. I want to thank Kenny Bell and Michael Kirklane because over a year ago, I reached out to Sue and said, Bobbie and Carole's 80th birthday is coming up. And you may remember a couple of years ago, my very first show of Richard Skipper Celebrates was at the Triad, and we celebrated Carole Demas's birthday that night. And I've heard so many people, you know, I don't want to out anyone because someone who was a dear friend of ours, a name that was mentioned just a few moments ago, said the other day, I want my life back. And I said, this is your life. Take this moment and embrace it. So I want to thank all of you who are part of our lives, who are always here. I want to thank the American Songbook Association for the work they do. And I hope I can see that a lot of people have been very, very generous in your contributions tonight.
Yeah.
I hope you've all had a good time. Please go to my website, richardskipper.com, and leave your comments about the evening in my guest book. That way I will have this to hold on to after tonight is over and long beyond that. I hope you've all had a wonderful time, and I hope that you'll all contribute. And before we end, I do want you both to say a few words. Yes. But before we get to that point, we talk about family. Cabaret is family. And this pandemic has brought us together in ways that we never had. But there is someone who has the right to use the word family better than all of us put together, and that is Bobbie Horowitz's wonderful son, David Sloan.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I seem to be very pixelated. Can you hear me?
You are fine. Coming and going.
Okay.
Are you on your phone or are you on a desktop?
No, I'm on my laptop.
Okay.
We can hear you fine. You're not.
Great.
Yeah.
You don't have to see me. You know what I look like.
Well, you're flashing back and forth, so it's not so bad.
Okay, and
in the
also,
right way.
The only thing special is I actually put on my my formal pajamas for tonight, so that's very exciting. First of all, Mom, Carole, happy birthday, of course. Richard, Sue, thank you so much for doing this. There's not really much I can tell you about Carole that you don't know that I know, because you know a lot about her. Bobbie, yeah, there are probably many things I could tell you, but there's one little bit that I really would like to communicate. With all of the kidnapped children that she claims to have, you are all family, but what you didn't get in the kidnapping was to actually be able to grow up in the home of Horowitz.
Mm-hmm.
I was in high school and college during the prime Horowitz Inspector era. And for those youngsters out there, we used to have a thing called a landline. It was like a cell phone, but people shared it. So you could be a teenager and share the same phone with your parents and perhaps your mother's business. And so we also had things called answering machines, which were like voicemail, just they were physical. They weren't in the cloud. And our outgoing message, which I had actually forgotten until about a year ago, when I was talking to a couple of high school buddies I hadn't seen in decades. This is what people heard when they called me. You've reached the number of the kids from Brooklyn, Sharon and Barbara, Shippo and Sloan, who work in harmony as Horowitz Inspector. Leave the time, your name and number when you hear the tone. And that was a very special way to go. I'm blessed to have had it. Ma, thanks for being you, and thanks for having me, and happy birthday.
Now stay right where you are, David. Don't go anywhere. As we wrap this up, Carole, is there anything that you would like to say in closing tonight?
Grateful. That's the biggest feeling I feel. I have this wonderful husband who's always reminding me to be in show business and tell people to go to my website. And
Which
he
is
in front of me because I never do it. I never remember to do it.
CaroleDemas.com.
Yes. And I would like to say that, please God, may this time pass, not the time we just had, although I'm sorry, this is ending, but may this difficult time pass for all of us so that we can all do the things that are closest to our hearts and share the warmth, the physical warmth, the smell, the taste of people around us that we love. And I would just like to say that I'm sorry that the house concerts, which have been such fun, that we have for this year, have been put on hold. But if we still have this house, with the economy being what it is, I hope everyone will come and we can embrace you, Stuart and I, with what we made and with our gardens. And thank you all for the music, and thank you for your love. And Bobbie, I was honored truly to share this experience with you. Isn't it nice to be a couple of old bags and not be old bags?
Oh, I love you both.
And I really have to also thank my dad. He was a labor relations attorney who represented the New York Hotel Association. So I got to go to all the cabarets when I was 3, 4. He'd say, "Can I bring her in? If she makes noise, I'll take her in." And I got to see all those great cabaret performers in those places when I was 7, 8, 9. And I would bring my son David to them. And I really think that music can bring this whole planet together.
Thank you, Sue and
Thank you, Bobbie.
who did this.
Thank you. And Sue, I'm giving you the last word.
I think Carole said it best by just saying grateful, grateful, grateful. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you to everyone who came on and shared love with these beautiful women. Thank you to you, Richard, for allowing me to be a part of this. And thank you for all the contributions that were made to the American Song Society. We really appreciate it, Songbook. And I would like to suggest that, Carolyn Montgomery is doing this amazing work with kids, inner cities kids. If you have something to offer, if you want to sponsor a program, maybe specifically talk to her about doing that, because this is how we keep this art alive and we keep all of this work going forward. So my love to everyone. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Richard.
Goodbye.
Happy birthday, Bobbie.
Thank you, Carole.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.